Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I want to show you how to get your G2 or any Windows Mixed Reality Steam VR headset up and running in day-night cycles in Automobilista 2 with a full grid. I was maintaining pretty much 90 all the way around this thing from day-night with just a few flutters. And I've come across this mod from these fine gentlemen that put it together, and it works pretty good. So I'll go through all my settings, show you how I did it. I think you'll be doing the same thing. Stick around. Alright, here we go. We're going to go ahead and run this test. It's a 10-lap race. I've got 32 cars in it. I'm going to give you all my settings. The download link is in the description. And I'm going to kind of fast forward through here or slow it down around some trouble spots. We're really interested in the transition from day to night and from night to day. No sense in sitting here watching a whole 10-lap race go around where I'm really just looking at the meter and not paying attention too much to my driving. But hopefully this will help everybody. Let's get to it. So we're going to start getting into transition here real quick. We're going to stay close to these guys best we can. I got about 60% attention on the guys in front of me and about 40 on this little meter down here. So driving probably isn't going to be the greatest. This is another area right through here. It'll start to go down. This is another little trouble spot. So far so good. We're getting into the transitional time now. The amount of quality that I'm sacrificing in order to achieve this goal is minimal. And it has a lot to do with the way this thing works, but I don't want to get too technical or in the weeds. We just want to go around here. There you go, got a dip. So I think I saw an 82 right there. Kind of need to pay attention to my gears and kind of stay with these guys. So we're usually pretty good all through here. You may start to get some taxing GPU usage all up and through here. Lights are on. Shit, that ain't the lights, that's my limiter. Right here's trouble area. Let's see what happens. Man, that ain't bad. I've noticed it looks much better on screen, on video, as opposed to in the headset. And the other thing is the fluttering or the frame skipping looks worse on the video than it does in the headset. So keep that in mind. Look, 94 on the GPU right there. I tried bumping up pre-render frames a little bit, thinking, okay, maybe I can pawn off some of the load to the CPU, and there we go. We're down to 87, small glitch. What I'm seeing here is really no different than having it on 100% Steam Super Sampling. I went down to 80 to see if I could keep this thing pretty much locked. And it just seems those trouble spots are just always going to be trouble spots. Alright, well, let's shorten this up a little bit and move ahead and see what it looks like with the sun coming up. .93% on the GPU. Ooh, got a little flutter there. Not bad though. All right, well, there you go. I edited out the middle of it. It was getting way too long. I just wanted to give you an example of how it looked to me. And now let's get into the settings and how to do it. Okay, first thing you're going to do, click on the link. You're going to get this page, Google Documents, and you're going to download these 4 files in a zip format. Go up here, click download, and voila, should be coming down now. And that's step 1. Okay, you unzipped it, and now you have 4 files. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our config file. Now, you can make a copy of the original download if you want to, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this so you know what's going on. All right, so I just cut that CFG out of there and put TXT so I can edit it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open that in text. It's enabled. You can check out all this if you want to. Let's just try to speed through this. So what I did is I changed render scale to 63. Sharpness, I went to 0.25. I don't want it too sharp. And radius for G2 is going to be a 3. So if you got a G2, that's 3. Other headsets, not sure. I'm sure you can find that information somewhere. But those are my settings. Didn't touch nothing else. 3, 25, 63. It's a little bit towards the quality end of it. If you have performance issues or you don't have a 3080, you don't have a system that can push it, say you're on a 3070 or even a 2080 or something like that, you might want to just leave that at 59, start there. But again, visual quality is better the higher you go up. So anyway, that's what we got. We're going to go ahead and save that. Close, go back. And I'm just going to grab them 3 letters again and make sure that period's still there, and then just paste back in that CFG. All right, so now I have a configured file for AMS2. Okay, let's get the mod installed. Now you are going into your Steam games to find your AMS2 for this. You'll be working in the x64 file. Double click on that. The very first thing you want to do, so you don't mess nothing up, is you find that OpenVR API DLL file. Go ahead, right click on it and copy that thing. It's on your clipboard. You can go put it in another file somewhere if you want to save it that way, or you can just go ahead and paste it here and you'll have a copy. I don't like a DLL file just hanging around in there with that extension, so I go ahead and back that out, and that's what I name it, back, for backup. So these 2 files are exactly the same. You can do it however you want. Just make sure you make a backup copy of that original file so you can swap it back and forth when you want to go back to original game. All right, so I'm just going to delete that. And now we're going to go get the files that we downloaded. All right, so we're back to where we downloaded and configured the mod file. We'll go ahead and grab all of them. We'll copy. And we will go back to our Automobilista 2 file. Okay, we're back in Automobilista 2, x64. We are going to go ahead now and paste all 4 files. It's going to say, do you want to replace the file in the destination? You're going to say yes, because you already backed it up. So you just overwrote that file. Now you got 3 new files, and that's a different file with the same name. And now your mod is installed. Now to remove this mod, all you have to do is find those 4 files again. And we're going to just control click our way through here. We're going to get that one and those 2 FSR files. And I will just delete them. Now we'll go and get our original OpenVR. You can go ahead and rename that back to DLL if you want, or just cut and paste the original file if you saved it in another location. Okay, here we are moving on to Steam VR settings, and as you can see, the general tab, I have it set to 80. The video setting, we're going to go to per application, we're going to get Automobilista 2, and we have 100% there and motion smoothing disabled. Here we are, and these are the settings I'm using. Visual effects, none, off, 1. Raindrops, yes, and then everything else, no. Again, probably mostly preferential stuff, not necessarily performance issues or performance related, except probably bloom would be what I would say would be performance related there. Okay, and then the big one, performance. So here's what we got. I got text resolution at medium, running that at 16 here. No, which doesn't matter. I think in VR really doesn't matter. And then I turned that to medium. For this test, I messed with a lot of it. I'm just showing you what I got. I don't want to explain too much of what I found either way. So there you go there. Reflections low at night seems to be helpful. Environment map low at night seems to be helpful. Car detail high, obviously. Track detail Daytona. I like medium at Daytona. It takes a few of the campers out of behind the pit wall and the International Horseshoe right there, trouble area when you're running through there. And notice that medium was kind of the sweet spot. And let's see, shadow detail low. The shadows in this game are fantastic. And in VR, you don't see a whole lot of difference. And you got to remember, we're concentrating on night driving, and you got to be careful with those shadows. A lot of lights out there. So again, this is really proprietary for a day-night stint. Enhanced mirrors, I like that. That's my personal preference. I'm sure that has a little bit of performance detriment there, having that high, but I like it. I tried render frames ahead to try to offload maybe some of the GPU usage. Didn't seem to help here. I never tried it in NVIDIA. But anyway, these are the settings I have. Obviously, detailed grass is off, and particles, can't really tell in VR when they're on low. You still see them. And so much is going on that just having them on low and not using up any additional resources seems to be the way to go. So those are those settings. Then we go over to the race settings, and again, we are running opponents max 31, and I ran multi-class grid, and then over in our race setup, we did 10 laps, and default date. Start time is this is the sweet spot for a start time, day-night transition. Obviously, you could go closer, say maybe noontime, but you don't want to go closer to the transition time when you have the grid bunched up. It just isn't necessary to overload the system with having all the cars bunched up and then immediately going into a transition. So I like to run maybe 2 laps before that transition starts to onset, and the cars seem to be a little bit scattered out some. So the frame rates seem to stay a little bit more consistent by paying attention to what time you're starting the race. And then obviously 60 time scale. And again, these were my weather slots. I started cloudy, and then when we got in tonight, I wanted a clear sky. Okay, so that's that. Well, that'll do it for a very long video, but I hope I really helped somebody today. And if you like what I do, subscribe, share, like. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. See you on the track.